there's a big event happening in the Lakeland coming up here in a couple weeks. It's the Cold Lake Air Show, and this is an amazing event. Every year we've been to it, it just gets better and better. I'm joined this morning by Major Eric O'Connor, who is the Director of Air Operations for the show. Major O'Connor, thank you for joining me this morning.
Pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Well, let's talk about the show. It is July 20th and 21st. I looked at the lineup. Let's talk about the air show first, the actual people who are going to be performing. Tell me about some of the people who will be there this year.
Yeah, so the big thing that we try to achieve in Cold Lake is we try to bring in assets that you're not going to be able to see anywhere else in Western Canada, or at least in the prairies. So we have two large demonstration team. One that most Canadians are quite familiar with the snowbirds, but the very unique opportunity that we have is to have the Frecce Tricolores, which is the equivalent to the snowbirds in Italy. And they have big smoke, all colored, and similar sized jets that they use in Italy. And they put on an amazing display. So that is probably one of our great display that you will not be able to see anywhere in Western Canada. The other unique display that we're going to have is the F-35 demo team. So these folks are coming from Hill Air Force Base. It's going to be the first time that we'll ever have the F-35 on display, and we're the only show in Western Canada where you'll be able to see them. The airplane is flown by Mach, a lady from the U.S. Air Force, and she puts on an amazing show. The entire team is amazing. And then additional to that, we're trying to, this is the 100th anniversary of the Royal Canadian Air Force. So what we're trying to achieve is bring in people that have either previously flown or still flying in the RCAF, and bringing them back to celebrate the anniversary with us. So we got Ross Grandley, which used to be an F-18 pilot, and Snowbird. He flies for United and now flies a whole bunch of warplanes. But what he's going to be displaying is the P-40, which is a World War II airplane that the Royal Canadian Air Force used to have. So he's going to be flying his display, aerobatic display, and then we'll rejoin to do a heritage fly pass with the F-18, which the F-18 will be flown by Modem, the previous F-18 demo pilot from the last 2 years, as the current F-18 demo team will be in Europe.
Now, the
We're
static,
say
sorry,
ahead.
I was just going to say the static display too is also awesome. I know that, people love to see what's in the air, but on the ground, you guys have a lot of unique aircraft there as well. So can you give me just a breakdown of some of the static displays that people will be able to see?
Yeah, that is one thing that you're not going to be able to see is the static display that we have is extensive, and we have, because of the size of the airport, we're able to host a whole bunch of aircraft that you'll never see in the prairies. So the C5 Galaxy, which is just a gigantic aircraft cargo, we're going to have a bunch of refueling aircraft. So we'll have the KC-135, the KC-46, which is going to be the first time displayed out west, which is the replacement to the KC-135 refueler. We're going to have our brand new refueler, the Airbus 330. And then we're going to have pretty much every fighter that you can imagine. We'll have the A-10, the F-15, F-22, which will also be flying as a teaser for the show. So we'll have the all sorts of fighters: F-16, F-15, F-22, F-35, A-10, and then a whole bunch of other aircraft. We have been the last couple of years also invited general aviation. I'm a huge supporter of the general aviation community, owning my own aircraft myself. So we've invited a lot of the local people to come in with their own aircraft to display, so that people can see that there's not just the big aircraft, but there's a small aircraft they can see up close.
So where are you at now as far as being 2 weeks out? I know sometimes that there's last minute cancellations and you guys are all over trying to get everything figured out, and you're dealing with getting people ready for parking and coming into the show and that. And I know that you're basically responsible for operations, but there's a big team that puts this together. So tell me about how much work goes into putting this show together, not just from your side, but from everybody involved.
Yeah, my side is definitely busy, but as we're getting closer to the air show, it is a massive logistical undertaking, and I cannot um, put enough emphasis on how big of an exercise it is to put an air show of the size that we have. It is the largest military air show in Canada. So, to even just put the fencing, bring in porta potties, or set up cones for traffic, that takes an entire team of people, and the entire base in Cold Lake is getting involved to put the air show in Cold Lake. But there's also, apart from the Cold Lake Air Show, we also have the local community has been amazing in supporting this air show. So it's not just that we have the Cold Lake Air Show, but we also have the Full Throttle Festival, and you could see all these different companies coming up with their own little events to support the air show. It is an entire weekend party here in Cold Lake, and you can see that because all the hotels within about 100 kilometers of Cold Lake are sold out. So if you haven't had your hotel yet, you're probably in trouble.
Well, I really appreciate you speaking with me today. And if anybody's looking for all the information on the show, Major O'Connor, where do they go to find that?
We got a couple of different places. I would say the Cold Lake Air Show website, so www.coldlakeairshow.com. You can also find us on Facebook, Cold Lake Air Show, and we also have an Instagram page, same thing. But we answer questions very quickly, and you can ask your question if it's related to how to access the show site, what to bring, what is the traffic flow, what's the best way to come in, where to stay, and what are the performers going to be flying. Like I only touch a little bit about the performers. There's so much more. Go check out the website or Facebook, and we have daily announcement on new static coming in.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining me today and good luck with the show.
Awesome. Thank you.